everybody, a little brisk today. I think it's in the upper 30s with some wind. Today I'm riding Laura's dad bike, which I guess would make it a mom bike. So it's an older Salsa Cutthroat, which we then converted to alt bars. And I'm testing a couple of things. So this new EE Silk suspension seat post from Cane Creek, as well as these lightweight packable Pogies from Bike Iowa. I think there was a little confusion as to what a dad bike is, looking at the comments from my last dad bike video. And no, it's not a bike that a dad would ride, but it's kind of it's a pun on the phrase dad bod. So something which has vestiges of its former glory, might be a little bit more thick around the middle, less racy, less performance oriented, but still has those bits of flair. That's how I'm using the word dad bike. If you're wondering why it's not a cargo bike with 2 kids, that is why. So you guys might remember that I too had a Salsa Cutthroat, but I actually sold it about a year ago, mostly because at that point I was looking for a zippier all-rounder, which I ultimately got in the form of the Bambora and the Thai Thunderhawk. However, since doing all these drop bar mountain bike reviews, I've been kind of maybe regretting selling it a little bit, because now that's a hole in the stable, and you know how it is. You got to fill those empty bike slots, right? So for the time being, since Laura's still recovering, I'm riding her Cutthroat, and I gotta say I'm kind of digging it. The views here are pretty good right now. In a couple of weeks, this trail is going to be frozen solid for literally months. So trying to enjoy it while I can. And that's the biggest thing about living in Missoula. The good riding season is really short. In a good year, maybe it's like 3 to 4 months. In a bad year, like this year with the smoke, it's a month and a half. Sadly, most of my riding this year has either been on the trainer or in other states, because the smoke was so bad here during the summer. So one other thing I'm testing is this thing, and it's called the Snap Mount, and it's a magnetic mount that you put on the back of the GoPro, and you can snap it to all the different GoPro accessories. Really convenient, but a little heavy. Okay, I'm on the paved climb, so apologies for the huffing and puffing. Hopefully no bears today. Might cut this ride a little short. There's a lot of smoke on the side here. Looks like a controlled burn. They're burning right where I was gonna go riding. Yeah, probably gonna turn around. All right, everybody, I'm back from my ride. Right when I turned around, it started raining, so probably a good thing that I turned around when I did. How did everything work out? First off, let's talk about the seat posts. Again, this is the EE Silk suspension seat post from Cane Creek. I think its main value proposition is that it's really lightweight. On our scales, this version weighed in at 340 grams, which is about half or 2/3 the weight of the Redshift suspension seat post. In terms of how it feels really transparent. I put this on the Cutthroat today, but I also took it out on the Bear Claw and took it on some single track, and it works perfectly. It smooths out the small kind of chatter of light gravel, as well as takes the kind of oomph out of some medium-sized hits, if you will. So it does only have 2 centimeters of travel, so a little bit limited in terms of the size of the bumps. But I think if you want something to just kind of take the edge off of a harsh road or a gravel road, then this is definitely a post to check out. I'm gonna do a deeper dive video on this and comparing it with the Redshift in a couple weeks. So the next thing I want to talk about are these Pogies by Bike Iowa. So I've had Pogies in the past, specifically the Barmits, which are awesome, but they tend to be on the heavier, bulky side because they're made out of neoprene. This is a lighter weight, kind of waterproof material. And what's cool about it is if you want it out of the way, you can kind of crinkle it up so all the controls are fully exposed. This is something you could not do with the bar mitts. They're also small enough that you can also put them in your jersey pocket or in a bag. Another cool feature about these is they've got enough of a gap so you can also use these with drop bars. When you're using it with drops, you're kind of limited to one hand position. Not so easy to kind of switch hand positions when you're using this with that. But it's nice that you can use the same Pogi for both drop bars and flat bars. One thing is that they're not as hermetically sealed as some kind of expedition ones, so some air will get through here. But short of doing the Iditarod race, if you're just commuting, then I think these are more than enough. Of course, depending on your conditions and temperature. Pairing this with a lightweight wool glove or liner glove I think is perfect if you live in the Pacific Northwest. These will outperform any waterproof glove on the market because this isn't going to be sitting on your hand and it's not going to soak through as easily. I bought these full price and I think they're well worth the money. I'll put the link in the description below. Next thing I want to talk about is this product called the Snap Mount, and yes, I purchased it full price. Link in the description below. And what it is a magnetic kind of attachment point that you put on your GoPro, and that comes with 3 other magnetic base plates so you can put on things like the chesty, and through the power of magnets it just connects. These magnets are super strong and you definitely don't want your fingers in between them and the magnets. It will hurt, trust me, I know. I was really curious about these because I wanted a solution where I could get some chesty footage but very quickly take it off and film some piece to camera. And this has actually been working out pretty good. It is, however, not perfect. The main problem is that it's really heavy. When you combine that with the GoPro Hero 9 or 10, which is already a heavier GoPro, and you use these magnetic mounts, on the chesty, it will kind of bounce around a bit. I did take it on some green trails so you can get a sense of how much it bobs around. It's not too bad for my uses, but if you're doing mountain bike vlogging, it might be bouncing around too much. I think this is a neat system that I'm going to mess around with more. Probably a pretty cool way to film an event because you can get that B-roll with the chesty and really quickly do a quick piece to camera or pan, capture a rider, and then snap it back on. All right, so fall is here. It's getting cooler. I'm going to be doing some more winter cycling related stuff coming up in the future. Recommendations for clothing, gloves, maybe shoes, I don't know. But let me know what winter or fall related content you guys want to see in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the content, consider supporting the channel by joining us on Patreon. That is the best way to do it. We're doing a bunch of giveaways every single month, and you definitely don't want to miss out. So as always, everybody, keep the supple side down.